Hi everybody, Chris from BattleGoat Studios. Just wanted to do a quick follow-up today since the Supreme Ruler 2030 demo went out just a couple days ago. People got a chance to play it over the weekend and we've gotten some really good response. Thanks to everybody who's tried it out, who's left us comments on Discord, on the Steam forums, on our forums. We're digging through all the feedback we've got. We're already finding some good stuff to work with. But we thought we would share a few of the comments we've gotten so far and talk about where things go next. One of the first comments we got was related to game speed, and that's not a big surprise. Game speed has been an important topic for Supreme Ruler players since the start of the franchise. And we are definitely getting feedback that Supreme Ruler 2030 is faster than any of the previous games. Now, we also have changed how we manage speed, and for existing users, this might be important to you, is that our fastest speed was always sort of unhooked as fast as your game could run based on your hardware. And that could create some inconsistent day speeds. So we do actually have it set by default to cap the game speed at a bit more consistent when it's set to fastest. If you're looking for the old style, just as fast as it can possibly go, you just have to go into the game's options, general. Last option in the list says boosted fastest game speed. And that will get you the absolute fastest, though you might get one fast day, one slow day when a lot of things are happening. So for new players, we think using that steady speed for fastest without going absolutely everything is a bit better approach. Another thing that's been talked about a lot is we now support screen scaling for some of the higher resolutions. Though, interestingly, the community definitely found some screen resolutions we have not gotten a chance to test yet, where they're getting some odd graphic oddities, and we will make sure, as we get towards the final release, to do more work to support as many resolutions as we can. But the UI scaling does work for most people. If you're playing around and you get yourself trapped, there's a forum thread to help with some of this. Holding Shift and Control on your keyboard will force it back to a default screen resolution if you're trying to see the best you can get out of all of that. And another change that's come in, which is sort of related, if anybody's having graphical issues, we had one or two users who I believe are trying to run the demo below our system specs, and they were getting some oddities about the map graphics. When you press Control T in the game, it goes away from doing the 3D terrain to a very fixed graphic look where you know exactly what each terrain type is. It feels very old school Avalon Hill board game in its look, but for some players, they like the absolute accuracy of what tile type, what terrain type is where. And for anybody with some older graphics card, that may be your solution to be able to run the game even if you don't quite have the system specs. Still on the topic of UI, generally the reaction has been, well, some people are still getting used to it. It's hard to get used to a new UI, but initial comments about the new layout of the UI, more positive than negative. And it's always tricky. You never want to make huge changes because the community sort of understands a thing, but there were definitely places we felt we could improve. So if you've got feedback on the UI, love to hear that as well. A few other quick small things is players really like that they can expand some of the panels to be tall, see more information at once. Our apologies that those tall panels, that's where you'll really see that we're still working on the graphics. And even the layout. We want to make sure and get the layout of all the short versions exactly locked down, and then we can translate that into a proper tall version of the panel. And yeah, the demo is definitely built on the beta that we are still in development, working towards the full release. Some of the other small stuff that we got has been comments about the units on the map, the inventories, which country inventories are still in progress, but it's fun to see the things that people like, that the units, when they get to a train track now, they actually turn into a locomotive and drive on the track. People really like that. Even the aircraft, the way they move, the aircraft and missiles, the way they move has been updated a bit, so your aircraft are actually flying faster in transit, slower when they're banking or attacking and stuff like that. Not always immediately obvious, but they're actually doing that. And the missiles, we managed to get a lot of stuff fixed about the missiles. You might still find some missiles doing some funny things. We're still working on all that. But yeah, so that sort of brings you up to speed to what we've gotten just from the first 72 hours of sharing the demo. We really hope that as many people as possible get a chance to try it. Steam Next Fest is on, and that's going to be a big opportunity for lots of people to see it. And we are driving towards that final release of the game, getting our last content in. Please leave us the feedback if you can, and we'll keep making the game and more of these developer videos. Thanks for watching.